What is up, slash all community? We're so excited here today. We get the chance to host the NECC. So big shout out to any NECC fans here chilling with us tonight. We're here at the championship game for the Midwest. Joined with our Brendan here. How are you feeling for tonight?
I'm super excited. So yeah, we got the unique opportunity to cast this as it wasn't able to, so it was offered to us. So looking forward to see what these players have to show us at the collegiate level. This is the Midwest Championship, so we have two of the top seeds out of their groups. Both teams haven't even dropped a game in any of their best of three series throughout the playoffs. So we'll see whether it's the immovable object or the unstoppable force here today.
Yeah, it's definitely a high stakes game, and it looks like both teams are coming in here with a plan with how quickly bans are going through. Already see Ash taken off the table, has a lot of priority in the amateur scene for League of Legends. And then LeBlanc and Victor both are the main champions for the mid laners here, taken away, and that's going to be Hero Joe's Karthus jungle banned away here. So already see some denial for those comfort picks. Varus locked in. Brendan, I know you're the AD carry player. What does Varus do?
He's a lane bully, so you get priority in lane. It's really nice to have a Varus on your team. You can, if you pair him with another ranged support, you can usually dominate the lane and get a lot of priority for your jungle, especially with a Varus locked in. You're looking to stack some dragons. So, and then on the flip side, you see the Rumble Jarvan. So very meta. Consistent picks there with the Jarvan, the Cataclysm being the lock in the team members over the Equalizer, so a very strong combo there.
Yeah, especially only getting 3 bans. A comfort pick was going to slip through, so Astral Fly going to be comfortable on that Rumble pick, but we looks like we have the counter pick potentially here that was prepared for it. Jace locked in the top lane for Willanen.
Yeah, also could be a flex too. With the Maokai being locked in, you assume that's going to be jungle. It's most likely going to be Hero Joe on the Maokai, and then your Jace you can flex as well depending on the mid matchup. So you get a counter pick from blue side, which isn't bad.
And if it comes down to it that Maokai pick can go into the support role, I personally am a really big fan of at least one, if not 2 flex picks there in the first round of picks, so that you can't get a pool pinched during the second round of bans. Sivir locked in on the other side of it. Just talking about that, not going to let ISU pinch the AD carry pool. So we're going to see some more mid lane bans come through here.
Yeah, the Milio being banned away to pair up with the Sivir. Sivir just a really strong, consistent AD carry. Doesn't necessarily win lane, but gets push. Becomes very uninteractive, which is very nice. You can set up for objectives very easily and safely with Sivir, as well as playing the lane safe. And once you get to two items on Sivir, you're going to be dealing a tremendous amount of damage in the late game.
And River Falls is going to be put in a position here to make a decision on who they want priority. And the Milio and Rel banned away. It's going to be Nautilus here, locked in for them. So I'm going to be interested if we see it just answered with the Alistar here. I know that's a very strong matchup here, and that's kind of the only support I see left on the table. You can go for the Taric. It helps you out better in the late game, but you really can't stand up to the Nautilus during laning phase if you pick that Taric here.
I would be interested to see if they go a range support. Yeah, as they do. With them banning away the Milio and the Janna, those are two other strong range supports. So if you want to try to be the only person in the lane, they didn't know that obviously University of Wisconsin was going to pick Nautilus there, but banning out some of the stronger range supports so that they can pick the strongest one themselves. And Renata's just feels really great into Nautilus and Engage in general. So very strong pick for ISU there. And then the Aurelion Soul being hovered. So this is a new addition to the pool for ISU. Been practicing on this pick a lot as we scouted some of the players in preparation for this match. Gives you a late game insurance policy. He's gonna scale no matter what, and take over late game team fights. If you get this guy close to full build, you can almost count on any sort of team fight going your direction without very hard locking him down.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Sivir has very strong push early in the laning phase, correct?
Yes, but ISU drafting two ranged champions, you expect them to be able to get the push against a Nautilus, especially with the Varus. I would say that it goes neutral between those two champions.
I was just curious because that's kind of the problem with a soul is you got to get those stacks, the Starlight stacks. So you're kind of weaker in the early game up against the Galio. It will be University of Wisconsin going to get the early game push, and that Jarvan's going to get priority to that first or second Drake here. That's kind of the fault in picking the scaling composition here. So we'll have to see how the Falcons move around if they do get those early Drakes, because I think looking across the table between these comps, I'd be really scared to see Illinois get scaled and get to a 30-minute spike.
Yeah, it's going to be up to University of Wisconsin to push the pace of this game. So we'll see what lane they decide to play through that. I would suspect you're looking to play through either bot because you have the setup with the Nautilus, or through the top trying to attack this Jace as well to get Rumble ahead. Because to be honest, resources spent mid probably don't pay off in the end because you're going to have infinite scaling on Aurelion Sol anyway.
Yeah, but either way, get to that mid-game team fight. Excited to see the Jarvan Cataclysm Galio combo. Such a fun one. And on the other side of the table, that Varus is going to be so immobile that he's going to be squashed like a bug if he gets trapped inside of that Cataclysm.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be up to Varus to properly space these fights. He does have a bailout, literally, with Renata Glass at least, to try to save him from those fights. But yeah, just look for ISU to scale up this game. And I think, like we've been saying, I think it's up to University of Wisconsin to push the pace of this game. Yeah, players getting ready for the match. Then we'll go into the client draft. We'll have a little bit of spectator delay. So I think we're going to have a predictions being started in the chat as well. So if you have any predictions on this, you can place those in the chat. Something that we like to do in our streams. So you use a little channel points to wager against your friends. We got two colleges rivalries going on, two undefeated teams, like we said in the playoffs. So I'm very excited to see how which team strikes first. Which team gives the other team their first loss in the playoffs.
I just said there's so much stakes that the very first game of the series, it's a best of 5. So, the second or third game could not be that intense. But this first one, you secure the chance of being the undefeated team and taking that away from your opponent. So we're going to see a lot of focus. We're going to see them coming out swinging here because you don't want to be the one who loses that streak.
No, yeah, I am interested to see how the jitters get. I've never played in a collegiate championship match, so I don't know the experience of these players, how many of these high-stakes matches they've been in. Obviously, they've played through this bracket, which is a single elimination tournament, so they've been in these knockout situations. But a lot on the line for these players. Like this is the peak of this season's collegiate for them. This is the playoff championship. So we'll see how that affects some of the mechanics in the game. See if anybody's feeling a little jittery. See if some rash decisions are made, or on the flip side, you could also see a really safe game this first game as they kind of just feel out the series and let the game come to them.
Yeah, one of my magnifying glasses will be in the top lane. Such a volatile lane here with 2 damage bruisers in the top lane between the Jace and the Rumble. Jace obviously having the advantage with the range early on, but if he jumps in with the hammer leap and doesn't consider his DPS, he's going to be jumping into a flame spitter and Rumble will roast him like a marshmallow. So it's going to be a really high stakes, and it's going to be up to Wolanin to navigate that lane and know when to all in.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of ISU's team fight is going to be prevalent. They need to get to the objective first, get the saplings set up, make University of Wisconsin walk into them, and control the river that way for these objective fights. A lot of action is going to be around these objectives. I don't really see Maokai invading, so it could be interesting to see on University of Wisconsin side to see if Jarvan tries to get any sort of invade going. I would assume he could get the push with Galio, quick combo to clear the wave, but then you got Acel on the flip side who can join. So It's going to be really interesting if these junglers decide to play around their mid, if you see the mid jungle duo go to work, or if they decide to play towards bot. So interested also to see where these junglers start. That will give us kind of a clue to see what the game plan is. If anyone tries to start towards top and path towards bot, we could get a little bit of insight.
Yeah, and for University of Wisconsin, in the mid lane, Erie is going to have to be really conscious when he is roaming, because he's not getting value out. You just left a wave just for Acel to collect, and that's 6 Starlight stacks for free. So if you're constantly pushing into him, giving him those free waves, you have to get high value on those roams. I think I keep saying these things. I talked about bot lane getting the push, so J4 needs to pressure Drake's. Rumble needs to be able to get a lead in the top lane. Galio needs to be intentional with the roams. It really comes down to University of Wisconsin is going to set up the tempo, and if they're able to use that as a catalyst to get a lead, or do they just fall off and they get outscaled?
I will say there comes a point in this game where I think it's very hard for Rumble to match the Jace in the sideline towards the late game. Any full combo onto Jace, so that is another aspect. When you have Aurelion Sol's going to be able to hold any sort of lane, obviously he can just pop down that pool and just collect all the minions, as we've seen in plenty of games that it's pretty uninteractive. So that being said, Jace can get push on the side lane, and it's going to be really hard for any members for University of Wisconsin to hold up against that.
Well, we have gone at least of our thoughts on this draft. Let us know in chat, what champion do you think is going to get the early game lead? Which one of these two teams are going to come out ahead? Slash all community. Let us know who's joining us, watching this collegiate game with us. Just make it fun for us also, because I got chat pulled up right here, and I wanted to interact with you guys as much. I'm a spectator just like you are.
Yeah. Super excited for this opportunity. So we're about to get loaded into game one, go through a little bit of our spectator delay. So with that being said, we'll throw it to a little bit of an intermission as we get ready to load into the Rift, and we'll catch you on the flip side as we load into game one of the NECC Midwest Playoff Championship game. Reminder, this is a best of 5 series, so this is just game one of this long grind of the series for this close of the season for these players.
All right, and we are on to the Rift. We got University of Wisconsin on red side here, and then across the Rift we got Illinois State University moving out onto the map. Both pretty standard drafts here, nothing too surprising. We're gonna see. It looks like right now we got a 5 point start, so nothing silly starting here. High stakes game. Both of these teams have been undefeated during playoffs. So at the end of this game, somebody will have their first loss.
Yeah, and we were mentioning in draft what these early games will look like for these two teams in this high stakes match. And even while drafting the Nautilus and kind of having an opportunity if they wanted to look for any sort of level 1 play, we just see a standard 5 point for both of these teams. Just protecting. Like I said, it seems both these teams are taking the let the game come to them approach.
I know, I'm almost surprised to not see the invade with the Nautilus pick, but with it being game one, it's just so risky that we didn't see them go for it.
Yeah, for sure. What's your featured matchup of this game? We get in LCS, we get a featured matchup. I think mine's going to be this top lane between Wolan and Astral Flying.
I mean, I would say the exact same thing, but I want to steal your answer, so I'll pivot to the mid lane here. Because Basher Slice will really just try to scale on this Acel, so that will activate Yuri. He will be able to get some roams off, but with how high cooldown the Galio ultimate, he will have to make value out of it, because if he roams and doesn't get a kill, it's just a waste of time and a waste of cooldowns.
Yeah, and another thing that we were talking about in draft, we see Hero Joe starting on the top side. He's going to be doing a full clear towards the bot. He could look for a top gank level 3, but I don't think that he would elect to go for that sort of inefficiency. And on the flip side, we see Arrow Hunter doing a 3 camp. He's going to stop off, do blue wolves, and then you expect him to do some of those top camps, then put some pressure on Will Landon in the top lane.
Oh, look at the top lane. Will Lannon went down so low. As I was talking about earlier, if he does not navigate the trade, Flame Splitter will out DPS him in the long run. So it needs to be burst trades, or Astral Flying will just out DPS him like he just did. Already down to about that 25% health with J4 rotating up to the top side. That's really dangerous.
Yeah, and elected to go with the tier start as well versus some sort of sustained type item. So a lot of pressure is going to be on him. And
There might be a solo kill flashing underneath his own tower, and in the mid lane we have the first gank actually going towards Basher Slice. Flash blown in mid and top here already. In the meantime, Hook goes wide here as Hero Joe flashes forward. Everybody wants this first blood, and it might be going over here. Not yet. Ravenhood is going to be cutting this one out, and Tai Shung has to be careful in that minion wave.
yeah, I'm really nervous for Wolan here to get dove. He's in a really precarious situation, and yeah, he has to back off from this tower, especially with Arrow Hunter roaming up as well.
Yeah, Arrow Hunter actually walking him all the way back to the tier 2. And in the bot lane, it continues to be aggro as Renata Glass does land the handshake. So it's going to be a flash out of Sivir 2. We have Summoner spells going down left and right so early here.
Yeah, and if we just take a look at this top lane, you see Astral Flying's actually going to be proxying this wave and just continuing to build on that lead. We're about to see a really massive lead in this early game, so we'll have to see how the Redbirds fight back.
Yeah, that 21 CS has the teleport to get back to wave. This is going to be a miserable lane for the Jace. We'll have to see if Hirojo decides to come over and try to help Jace get out of this laning phase, but that stops the tempo here and is going to mean that the Falcons can get priority on that first Drake.
Yeah, we'll definitely be interesting to see what ISU elects for.
Oh, the repeat drink, but really nice play by Basher Slice getting that flight out of the taunt.
Yeah, Hero Joe, he's going to have to take a really creative gank path here, else he's going to be spotted out on this ward. Great vision coverage from the University of Wisconsin to cover this crash for them without jungle support.
Oh, I mean, he's going in now. Spell Shield is available. There it goes. It gets procced, so they just turn onto the Nautilus, but the flash away just disengages the rest of the play.
Yeah, great use of the spell shield there. Gets Frigidly out of any danger, and then on the flip side, Ravenhood still had his flash, so he was able to get out. So Like I said, that vision was able to give him the information that he was coming, and then just a few fancy feet moves to get out as well.
And that comes to no avail. So if you look on the mini map, Arrow Hunter actually invaded, so Hero Joe is not going to have anything to collect here on his topside camps.
Yeah, Joe's about to have a rude realization that he does not have any resources left here on the top side of the map.
Oh, but he might try to get the kill on the back side of it. The mid laners are rotating over here, but you have to be so conscious. The Rumble has the health advantage here. Hero Joe goes in, but they just trade back. Well, Lannon is going to be the first one to go down, going over to Eerie, and they turn on to Hero Joe next. That's 2 kills going over to the Falcons, and we have our first official lead of the game.
Yeah, the Falcons strike first. Just great play there from Mo Lannon to get the pressure, and they're able to translate that pressure in the top lane to 2 kills in the enemy jungle, as well as taking away all those camps. That's gonna set Hero Joe on this Maokai so far behind when he's trying to get to that 6. Really to use the ultimate to set up those ganks. That's gonna unlock a lot of playmaking potential.
And all that was done without blowing the Galio ultimate. So Galio is going to recall here, get some nice AP, and still have the ultimate available for another roam out of lane. Could not be a more ideal play for Eerie.
And we see Arrow Hunter, he's setting up towards the Drake. We'll see if he elects to take this. And he is going to start that up. With the bot lane having backed for ISU and the push being completed for University of Wisconsin, you just expect this to be a first Drake from no contest.
Yeah, first Drake is definitely go down. We're going to have Rift Herald spawning in a minute, so I would anticipate that going over to the Falcons also. I'm going to pause here as Hero Joe might have actually found himself caught out. Did not realize that there's 4 members here. Down does the A-Soul ultimate to try, but it is not going to change the outcome here. Hero Joe goes down again. So I was saying, how does Illinois State kind of slow this down? I anticipate the Rift Herald is going to go down too, and it's just going to be a snowball effect. So how do you stall out this game?
Yeah, I think Rift Herald could be something that they look for, but it could also be something that they go ahead and they just need to either trade a play bot for Rift Herald, or they need to rotate up the support in Bard BQ and come up and try to secure that Rift Herald to get back into this game. But like I said before, ISU does have plenty of scaling, so they're not in too much trouble here. So it may seem, mentally you're at a 2K deficit. They don't know that, but it doesn't feel great for them. But they still have the late game insurance policy.
RQ might have found himself in trouble, and Nada's hook is going to land. A flash over the wall, a nice flash. I was not anticipating him getting out of that. So great play there, Bard BQ.
Yeah, and good damage traded back there from Tao Sheng, so we'll see if they can't translate that into anything, as Basher Slice is getting a good chunk in the mid lane as well.
The laning phase might be changing the tide here, as I asked how they would slow down the game. Well, Lanlin is doing a great job of, despite being at a deficit, not going down too low. He is just farming far back underneath his tower.
Yeah, really rough for him. He is 2 levels down, though, including the items. The items are actually not too bad. Those are still the same items that Astral Flying had from the first back. So I wouldn't say he's at risk of dying to a dive here. But definitely going to have to do something to try to get the XP back.
Cataclysm was blown. Hero Joe answers it with his flash. So this one is going to dissipate, and it is going to be the Falcons starting up Rift Herald here. And I don't know if Illinois can even contest here without Hero Joe having 6.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that they can contest.
And there it is, A-Soul ultimate blown defensively again, just to stop the play happening. That was Equalizer blown, but that is enough to scare Hero Joe away. Second neutral objective go over to the Falcons.
Yeah, as you saw, Ravenhood was the first to roam to that play, as BardBQ tried to roam up. He took kind of a half roam, came to mid, but he was later on the back, so Ravenwood arriving first, as well as the chunk they got on Hero Joe to start that fight out, and the flash secured them the Herald. BardBQ gonna be holding down this tower, and in the meantime, I mean, BardBQ, what a great name.
It is a lovely name. We were actually talking about this when we were preparing for the stream. Across the board, Wolanin, Hero Joe, Frigidly, Ravenhead, Geary, y'all got some legendary summoner names. Oh, Ravenhood, a nice hook there just to catch Tai Shung here. But Frigidly was not in the vicinity to really follow up on it. But honestly, as a squishy AD carry play, I think it's enough to shake your nerves.
Yeah,
Get hit by that big anchor and your anxiety goes sky high.
we just crossed the 10-minute mark, and if we look, the gold lead is sitting at a little under 2,000, and the majority of that, half of that actually, is in the top lane, and then the other half of that is going to be spread out actually as I look across the board. But 500 gold lead in the mid lane, and then everything else is kind of small leads here and there. But like we've been saying since the start, that top lane matchup, Joe has no flash here.
It is just a feel bad moment to watch that health bar go down, but actually a really nice turn around. There's the Renata Glass is going to catch 3. Well,
and the TP, this is really good.
Yep, Wolanin arrives first, and Arrow Hunter goes down, following up, but now Astral Flying has arrived. Equalizer does only land under Bard BQ. He's trying to turn the fight around, but Galio falls down from the sky, dash forward onto the AD carry. Taishan goes down next, Bard Q is going to be down, and now is left to Wolanin trying to find one more kill on the backside of it. There it is, the Shock Blast does not find it.
Yeah, I thought that play was going to be really good for Illinois State University there, but great play from Astral Flying to match that TP. Both top laners had TP, and they were able to get, like we were talking about just before, that half of their gold lead on the Rumble was able to come down on Astral Flying and provide that gold lead in that fight, and you could tell that he was the difference maker. That Equalizer did so much damage, and they're going to even translate this lead from that Rift Herald they're able to get from rotating Ravenhood up. That gold is going to be inserted into the pockets of Frigidly.
Yeah, it's just not ideal at all. Astral Flying, grabbing gold on the kills, and then you're gonna have gold going over to the Sivir on the tower plating. It's just pocket gold in the pockets of the DPS here for the Falcons, and Wolanin again stuck in this miserable phase, laning phase.
Yeah, he's sitting at 3 levels down, and that's just almost unplayable at this point. I would like to say the wave state was in a much favorable position for Astral Flying with that TP play being coming down, so Wolanin must have lost many more minions.
And it's going to be a play onto Bard BQ, just not respecting the Nautilus hook here. Ravenhood does take a lot of damage on the backside of it, but with the jungle handling, I don't even think that they can make a play off of it.
Yeah, good ultimate there from Tao Xing to trade enough health back that may dissuade the play.
But in the meantime, it's actually going to be play. He pops the stopwatch here, but I don't think it's going to change the outcome. It actually might be turning around. Shock Blast isn't going to find it, and Equalizer does trade it away. Astral Flying finding a kill in the 2v1.
What an incredible turn there. The stopwatch, that's coming from the runes that he elected to take. He took a perfectly timed stopwatch, so that coming up allowed him to survive that play, flash out, and then Wolanin knocks him to the safety of his tower, and as he's walking out, he lays down that Equalizer to get that kill.
And just to make the rumble even more scary, Mythic just got completed, and there is 9 stacks on that Dark Seal. So this Rumble is going to be the main threat here. And with Equalizer, he can win a team fight by himself.
Yeah, moving forward, maybe this is something that we see as a draft adaptation, because we know Wolanin also plays the Rumble side of this matchup. So they had elected to take the Varus as the priority pick. Maybe that changes going forward. But in the meantime, sticking into game 1, all eyes honestly are on Basher Slice right now. He would be the way for Illinois State University to get back into this game.
And despite all the chaos happening across the rift, Tai Shung here on the AD carry has Blade of the Rune King completed, has kept up in CS despite his team kind of falling apart across the rift. As Arrow Hunter comes up here for a gank, and Wolanin is just going to go down again.
At this point, they're just picking on him. With the Rift Herald coming up, they're able to get priority in the top lane, and they're going to be able to use that to move down and clear out all of the mid lane. Basher Slice moving up, trying to protect this tower. We'll see if he can pull that off.
Yeah, really scary. He chose to dive in. He's going to clear the wave. And now Astro Flying is stuck underneath tower, taking 1, 2 tower shots. It's going to be a solo kill for the Ace Soul while the fight breaks out in the bot side river. Double kill for Basher Slice in the top lane while the bot lane for them is trying to turn a play around and can't find it. So it feels kind of bad. You get a nice double kill in the top lane, but you're still bleeding out resources in the bot river.
Yeah, I would say that play looked really good for Illinois State University. On the flip side, though, they lose 2 in the bot lane. As we briefly pan down to that fight, Fridgley, I believe, was able to spell shield Tao Sheng's ultimate, and that was what changed that fight.
Yeah, it is definitely the Copium. Basher Slice here on the A-Soul. Such a big scaling pick. They are still in this game. As Hero Joe again gets hit by another anchor here, having to flash away, pops the Maokai ultimate, but I don't know if Taishun can really step up here. There's so much CC that if he gets hit by one person, he'll go down. As Wolanin is trying to get the flank here, and he's going to eat an anchor, followed up by the hook. And there's the Gallia ultimate. It's going to come down. Wolanin is going to go down. He has timeout because of the bailout, but it's not going to change it. And there's the taunt. Taishun goes down as soon as he is CC'd. And the Falcons are just grabbing kills left and right.
Yeah, Illinois State University needs to slow this game down, and if Basher Slice is not in the vicinity, they just need to give up resources. They cannot afford to fight without Basher Slice present.
Oh, but look how big that E is for A-Soul. It is almost at the point that it covers the whole lane.
Oh, it does seem like Copium, like you're talking about, with the scoreline looking like it is, and already a 5K gold lead at 16 minutes. But we've all seen what an Aurelion Sol can do in a game, and the incredible scaling that he provides. So I would not give up on game 1 if you're a Redbirds fan yet, but it is looking grim, and there's gonna need to be almost perfect play for them to come back into this game.
For sure. I will say they're doing the right steps right now as we Hero Joe trying to get vision established around this Drake. That'll be spawning up in 15 seconds. And it's a risky one. If you don't contest it, you're putting yourself on that Dragon Soul timer. But at the same time, without Basher Slice there, nobody on your team has enough gold to really put DPS out.
Yeah, we got Dragon up, and that's going to be a 3rd Drake if University of Wisconsin can secure that.
Equalizer drops in the top lane as Astro Flying trying to find another kill, and there's just all the members of the Falcons here. Wolanin was not going anywhere here, as that's going to be a kill going over, and all 5 of them move down the river towards this dragon.
Yeah, we were talking about in draft that it was University of Wisconsin had to push the pace of this game with the scaling on the side of Illinois State University, and they've put on a masterclass on how to do that. A 5K gold lead at 18 minutes. It hasn't grown since the last time I mentioned it, but the fact that they've been able to build that lead is huge. It's astronomical, if you can let me have that.
You got it. And they know what this Dragon Soul means. They're trying to contest it. A big ult coming out from Barbecue to engage the fight, but Erie went into the stopwatch, so Basher Slice can't get the first kill of the fight. It's going to go over to Taishun as Wolanin does TP in, and they're getting their comeback now. Kills are going over. 3 are dead for the Falcons, as the Redbirds are still in this. They're still kicking.
That was a great fight for them. They did lose the Drake, and they're going to have to fight the next one, but getting some shutdowns. And if you look at the gold lead now, I had just mentioned it, they just climbed 2,000 gold back into this game, and this tower and this bounty is just going to increase that comeback even more. So kudos to them to looking for the fight and just trying to get some gold in their pockets to try to fight for the next objective.
Yeah, it was almost perfect. They opt to get the mid lane tower. Baron was not on the map yet, but that's going to be spawning up here in 30 seconds. So if the Falcons drop a team fight like that again, the punish is available for the Redbirds here to go for the Baron play.
Yeah, now with Drake spawning in 4 minutes, all eyes are going to be turned towards this big purple worm as Wolanin may be caught out here.
Oh, he greeted. They had just won the team fight. He wanted another tower and just it's spit on instead.
spit on indeed. And shout out to Astral Flying. He built this gold lead from level 2 when he was able to chunk Wolan down, and he has not let up. And he's built that into almost a 4-level lead now in the top lane alone. And if you think about levels in League of Legends, they equate to about 600 gold worth of stats. So being 4 levels up equates to a big chunk of gold on top of the actual tangible gold he is up.
Yeah, I talked about how the punish was going to be for the Redbirds, but it's actually the Falcons grouping around the Baron buff here. Basher Slice is nowhere close here, so they could look to start up that objective. But again, Basher Slice is such a threat looking at items. He just finished up the, oh, what's the blue staff called? Help me out.
The Rylai's Scepter?
Rylai's Scepter. So that combo of Leandra's Anguish and Rylai's Scepter, that's the power spike when it comes to ASOL item optimization.
Yeah, and shout out to Tao Sheng in these fights too. He's been able to layer down a lot of damage. Unfortunately, his team is a little bit further behind in this game where those haven't been being finished out into kills, but he's been able to provide the damage, and these fights are razor thin, so with a perfect play, like I'm saying, they can turn these fights even with the gold lead that they're facing.
There are no more bounties for the Redbirds to claim, which is a good thing with how far down they were. The bounties, they've collected them. They've gotten the gold back in their pockets. They're still in this.
Yeah, I would say it's much of the same like I'd mentioned before. If there's any sort of play where Basher Slice is not invested or he's not in the play, they just have to give up the resources. They cannot afford to let this gold lead expand without their carry member in Basher Slice. He is the hope for ISU in this game.
Oh, but Frigidly just hit the 2 item spike there for the Sivir.
And I love that he elects to go for the Kraken Slayer over the Static Shiv build. I've been loving this build. I really hate that Static Shiv was a thing, but this Kraken build is just going to do so much work in these team fights.
I think that is it completed outside of Taisheng, who does go for Blade of the Rune King instead of a Mythic first. Mythics are completed across the board.
Yeah, and Tao Sheng should be pretty close to the Rage Blade. He still has to complete.
Oh, the Pro Belt Forwarder, and just another kill going over to Astral Flying.
Yeah, they have unfortunately lost all control of their top side jungle, and right now Hero Joe's in the bot side jungle, but anywhere that University of Wisconsin would like to go, they almost get to go at this point in the game.
And it looks like they want to go towards Baron here. All 5 members are in the river here, and they have vision established. There's no blue wards anywhere here. They pop the blue trinket here. They know that they're doing it, and they're going to start rotating here as a team. They haven't dropped the aggro yet as Hero Joe opts to go around. They might look for the steal, but Astral Flying actually goes over the wall. Basher Slicer dashes out. ASOL ultimate is popped, and nobody is onto the ASOL yet. Equalizer on top of it, but goes into the stopwatch as Taisheng is going to arrive to fight. Frigidly might be the one that goes down first, but the ASOL is dead. It is up to Taisheng to go crazy here, but Astral Flying might be the one to deny it. It's just Wolan left here, and it's going to be dead bodies everywhere here for the Redbirds.
Yeah, great use of University of Wisconsin there, using the Baron to bait Illinois State University into that river where they were able to get a fight, and now they can turn their eyes towards collecting this Infernal Soul with no members besides Bard BQ being on the map to contest.
For where we are with the gold, I think that was a great outcome for the Redbirds. Yes, you lose the Dragon Soul, but you stop their Baron objective taking. Great play by Basher Slice going into the stopwatch when he did to time out the equalizer, but they just didn't have the DPS yet to really contest here, and they are going to punish actually on the back end of it and collect the gold. Yes, they lost the soul, but still, that 600 gold going over to Basher Slice is going to be more as Astral Flying goes into it. Flash Away is actually going to be getting out of here.
Nice spell shield again.
Yes, and watch that. Frigili's health bar just drops so quickly, and Taichung is going to be trying to save the Ace-Soul with the bailout. Doesn't get the kill yet, but still, that is going to be 3 members. The death timers are staggered here, so Redbirds are going to start pushing for objectives. Astro Flying doesn't have the equalizer here, so you really can't close the distance onto the Varus. Has to just run away, trying to get rid of the minion wave.
Yeah, they have no quit in them right now. They continue to take fights. Some of them they're winning, some of them they're not. But what they are getting is the occasional bounty, and they're collecting these, and they're keeping this gold lead. This gold lead hasn't moved. However, University of Wisconsin has been able to get these objectives. They've gotten the soul, so they've gotten that value in their pocket. That being said, now Illinois State University needs to shift their focus into making sure that the University of Wisconsin cannot get the Baron for free, and what they need to look for is in 4 minutes and 30 seconds when this Elder Drake fights, they can fight for that. Basher Slice is strong enough. If they can get good setup and keep him protected, he can deal a lot of damage. That being said, I would have liked to see him go for something other than the Zonias in this instance, just because he is the damage that Illinois State University needs. However, the safety could be just as important. We'll find out.
Yeah, but Dragon Soul is acquired, and so those Sivir Qs are going to hurt. You're going to feel like you're being hit by a truck every time one of those just clips you. And they're onto the Baron buff already. They drop it and turn. Astro Flying popping the Proto Belt. Frigili is still auto-attacking this. We have a TP going in. So the objective is going to be started. Frigili missed the Spell Shield. Again, Ace-Soul Ultimate comes down on 4 while Frigili is left against Wolanin. And into the back line goes Hero Joe. And there it is. The Zonia's pop for Basher Slice, so they can't get the kill onto the carry, and it's going to be the Redbirds turning this fight around here. All the members of the Falcons are going down. It is just Erie trying to trade back while the rest of Illinois State finish up the Baron buff and rotate over to help Basher Slice. He is going to go down, but that's a team fight turned around. Baron buff acquired, and they're back into the game already.
They're ahead. They're ahead in the gold department right now, and they're going to be able to pick up Erie here as well, as Erie has been clearing these waves. I don't know if he noticed that the other team didn't go, but he's going to be able to get actually a shutdown that Wolanin had.
And that feels so bad because that means your Jace, who is answering the Rumble in the side lane, won't have Baron buff.
Yeah, but once again, Illinois State University showing their team fight prowess. They're winning out in the team fights here. That's 2 in a row that they were able to win. They lost the Drake this time and won the team fight. This time they won the team fight and got the Barons. So they are turning this game around, and they built a considerable lead themselves, going from 5K at 15 minutes now to being almost 1,000 or a little over 1,000.
And objective timers are staggered now, so you don't have to worry about the Elder or Baron buff trade here. You're able to contest the objective when they spawn onto the Rift.
That's a great point too. Yeah, for a team like Illinois State University who wants to look for team fights, objective timers being staggered is so important because they can force University of Wisconsin to come to them.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Interesting that we see Bard BQ with the split push with Baron buffs grabbing the top tower there. Love to see us support out here split pushing. It worked. It worked.
Yeah, with Baron, supports can do anything.
I mean, even without Baron, supports can do whatever they want. Oh, man.
A minute and 30, so you'll see these teams now start to fight for mid priority, and this is kind of what we talked about in draft with Frigili and the Sivir. They can get that almost for free. Oh, not for free this time. That's a big chunk from Wolanin.
I know, and it's going to stop the 1-3 that they're about to get set up, which is a really great answer because you're pushing in all 3 lanes, not letting them get value from the Baron buff. You're just trying to time it out here. And with the Galio, you're really able to set up plays like that. Because if a fight does break out, he just has to walk maybe a foot. And Bard BQ going to be splat out here. Astro Flying trying to go out for the DPS, but Basher Slice is going to be flying in here. So Flash is popped here for the Rumble just to disengage.
Yeah, Bard BQ holding his ground against Astral Flying. Although I'm looking at the inventories, if Astral Flying is able to complete the death cap here, that could be the difference maker in this fight. he's not going to be able to. He's only sitting on 700 gold, so that is good, at least, for Illinois State University.
Elder spawning up here in 30 seconds. So both teams are really trying to get control of the river, get the vision established here before the objective spawns. We'll have to see Hero Joe is doing a really great job right now of being the front line so that Tai Shung can step up and potentially pressure stuff. BarBQ is going to be setting up for the play, and into the back line goes the Arrow Hunter, but he actually jumped right into the mouth of A Soul. That's one player dead for Wisconsin as Basher Slider flies over the heads of everybody. This dragon is going crazy as people are falling down. It's a full sweep. Frigidly is the only one left with maybe 10 HP. He's going to clear the wave on the backside of it, and they start up Elder Dragon. There it is.
Basher Slice is completely taking over this game. He is playing a 1v9 game here, and these descending ultimates that he has, when he has that mega form of that ultimate, it is doing so much work across the entire team. And like we said from the start, I mean, he was their late game insurance policy, and the team was able not to get too far behind at the beginning, even though it seemed like so much. The scaling from Aurelion Sol is so effective.
And it just gets scarier and scarier. Not only do you have the A Soul execute now, you have the Elder Dragon execute. So if we see one more team fight break out, it could be the difference for the Redbirds to close this game out here in game one and maintain their undefeated record.
Yeah, I think with Baron spawning in a minute, there's not going to be much of Elder left, so that is the advantage that University of Wisconsin has. They won't have to fight an extended Baron fight with Elder. They just have to sit here and try to do damage control. They're not going to be able to defend everything most likely, but try to lose as little as possible as you wait out this Elder buff.
Yeah, and it's the full 5v5 is what's been working for them, so they don't even see Sin Lannon in the side lane to split push. We have a 5-man siege here in the mid lane as Hero Joe pops the ultimate to engage the fight. He only catches out Eerie as the equalizer finds 3 members, but BarBQ uses the shields to completely negate the ultimate here, and now it's even scarier. You have your biggest teamfight ultimate down for the Falcons here as they continue to siege the mid lane. We have another wave crashing, but they're going to move from the mid lane. We're moving over to the bot side here. Basher Slice flying over the walls to go collect the wave. They're trying to just to put as much pressure on the map before this time's out.
Yeah, with the loss, like you were saying, of that major team fight ultimate ability, what they're going to look for now is try to split this between the 2 lanes, see if they can't open up the map just a little bit more with this tier 2, and it looks like University of Wisconsin may give it. They kind of postured like they're going to, but they're going to step up now, be able to clear out that wave. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think they dropped a tower on this Elder Dragon buff.
They didn't, and even in the mid lane, we only saw the tower go down to a half health here, so a really well executed defend. But in the meantime, they stopped the push. BarBQ recalled early, so the support is here setting up vision around Baron buff. Both teams know that this is the objective to be looking for now.
Yeah, looking for a member to kind of contest this mid wave as we see 4 members of University of Wisconsin here. Pings are coming out. They're looking to collapse over on this top side. They have 4 members. They're going to try to go in on BarBQ here.
Arrow Hunter trying to find the person to jump onto with Cataclysm, but can't find it. If you blow that ability on the Renata Glass, I don't think it brings a lot of value to you, but look how grouped up the Redbirds are right now. Hero Joe pops the Malkow ultimate. Frigidly does successfully cleanse it this time. There's the equalizer. It doesn't land onto anybody, and there comes the A Soul ultimate. And Arrow Flying Hunter is already down. Astro Flying is going to go next. Will Lannon gets his revenge as he kills off Frigidly. They turn onto Baron, completely ignoring Eerie and Ravenhood. They know they won the fight, and this is their trophy for it.
Yeah, just Hero Joe starting off these fights so confidently, running at the enemy team, and just disrupting the front line for University of Wisconsin as Frigidly wants to stand in front and be able to use his abilities to soak up one of those roots and free up his team, but sticking the ADC out front like that is so difficult, especially when you have Basher Slice who can fly in from so far away, provide infinite slows. He has the death cap completed. There's just almost no stopping him here. Right now, you're looking for some sort of wombo on a split team for Illinois State if they can't catch out maybe Basher Slice with some sort of wombo involving Erie and Arrow Hunter and Astral Flying once he's up.
They're definitely biting off as much as they can with this Baron buff activated. They push in both top and bottom, but only find inhibitor towers here. They didn't take either inhibitor before the team spawned up. So it is still going to be in the game. The Falcons are still within this. They didn't lose yet again. The Redbirds had a neutral objective and weren't able to close the distance to get a major lead with it.
Well, if you look, this gold lead has now ballooned up to 11K, and they still have a little under 2 minutes on the Baron buff. That ends once Baron buff is at 3 minutes, so they still have plenty of Baron time. They elected to back spin their gold from the fight plus Baron plus the towers they just took, and they're going to look to group around this bottom lane, try to get these towers knocked down, and maybe look for a triple inhibitor once all the base is cracked wide open.
Can we get a check on how many stacks the Ace Soul has of Starlight at this point?
Yes. 498.
I think the craziest thing about that one is if you get caught in the center of the Ace Soul black hole and your health bar is below a percentage of that, you're just straight executed. It's
Yeah.
at the point, especially for Frigidly, who's not building HP, if he's below 25 or 10% and he gets caught in that E, he's just off the rift.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but you're looking at Basher Slice almost having a permanent Elder buff for the rest of this game right now. And with that being the member that is so far ahead, that's really hard to come back from the University of Wisconsin. But they're trying to set up some sort of flank to get an advantage in this next team fight. The mid
Basher
is pushed
Slice.
out. They're going to be able to get in. See if they can't find anything.
Basher Slice also has the upgraded Aurelian Soul ultimate here, so it's going to be probably the entire bot side of the rift going to be exploding when he drops that ultimate. So if you are the Falcons here, you're looking to try to pull that ultimate out in a place that he can't get any value from it. And we're going to have a trade here. It's going to be the Redbirds take down the Elder Dragon here, and the Falcons say, you can have that. They push in the mid lane. They're looking for an inhibitor of their
They're going
own.
to get pincered here from 2 angles.
Oh, there's that Ace Soul ultimate. It's going to find 3 members, and everybody is down already half health as Berserker 3Q throws it out. There's kill number 1 going over, and as Arrow Hunter goes over the wall, taking a blast cone to get out of here, so they do successfully only lose 3. This is not game over, but a double TP here. Will Lannon and Basher Slice are looking to end this game here right now.
Yeah, and shout out to Woe Lannon. I mean, we were talking about at one point, he was level 8 to Astral Flying's level 12. He was so far behind in this game, now sitting at level 17 with a bounty on his head, almost full build. He has come all the way back into this game, and he has scaled. Just shout out to the mental from Illinois State University for sticking into this game, and they're going to be looking to end it right here.
Yet all the players crashing into the base. One inhibitor is down as well. Landon going on to Frigidly here just to push him back to his fountain. They secure the mid inhibitor. Top inhibitor is going to go down to BBQ, and all the players turn on to the Nexus towers now. It is going to be game here. They still have Elder Dragon buff, so this is going to be a terribly difficult defend here. All the members of the Falcons have spawned up. If they're going to do it, they need to do it now. Their Nexus towers are already down as Tai Shung is putting the damage down onto Astral Flying. Arrow Hunter goes in for the Cataclysm, but with Elder Dragon buff, they cannot find it. Basher Slicer did get clipped by Zipper on the back end of it. The carry is dead as Tai Shung is going to go down next here. No, he doesn't. Bailout saves him with the Elder Dragon execute. Quadra kill for Tai Shung to close out the game.
What a close there from Tao Sheng, ending the game with a quadra kill and taking down that Nexus. He was so close to dropping, but BBQ providing that bailout. I didn't know if they would be able to end there if Tao Sheng fell, but Hero, Dro, and BBQ keeping him alive, and he's able to DPS plus the Elder there to close that game.
It is an intense back and forth game one, but it's going to be the Redbirds maintaining their undefeated season so far here. We'll have to see if the University of Wisconsin comes back with some fire in their spirits when we go into game two.
Yeah, with that being said, we can go into an intermission as we get the teams set up. We'll see if the #1 seed University of Wisconsin can strike back.
All right, we're already into game 2 draft here, so it's going very rapid. We're gonna see the same two bands so far, pinching the comfort pool for the mid laners here. So we'll have to see if they transition and ban the Aurelion Soul away. But it's gonna be LeBlanc and Vigar both off the table again.
Yeah, and we have same sides for this matchup, so we're going to have Illinois State University once again, and they're going to elect to band away the Rumble instead of pick it first on blue side.
Yeah, this is as we go through the best of 5. These kind of draft adaptations is what will set you apart here. And I think we see the respect being paid towards Basher Slice. 2 mid lane bans already. Don't get confused. That's Hero Joe's Karthus jungle. Not a mid lane ban.
Yeah, almost nowadays, Karthus, the mid lane, is kind of the third option for the champion. First being jungle, second being down in the bot lane. So Karthus, one of those super flexible, it's another one of those champions similar to Aesol like we saw in the last game. You just can't stop him from getting fed by the end of the game and doing an insane amount of damage, a game-winning amount of damage. Got the Renekton Talia, so this is a complete different draft. We see the Jarvan now being picked up by Illinois State University in the first round, so they're going to get to play the Jarvan side of this matchup. And then on the flip side, with Rumble being banned, we're going to see Astral Flying going to the Renekton. We assume it could be flex mid, but I would be surprised with the Talia. Talia could also be flexed jungle mid, so they have two very flexible picks here for the side of University of Wisconsin.
When it comes to Erie's champion pool, I'm anticipating that Talia going to the mid lane. He plays those control mages-esque style champions, a lot of AP carries, and I think the ranged AP carry with Talia will help Erie out a lot more than being put on Galio peel duty. But Hero Joe's Gragas is going to be locked in here, a great comfort pick here, and is going to bring that team fight value and engage that he was doing in game 1.
That's actually going to go to the top lane, I would assume, to Woe Landon. You're going to see Hero Joe most likely on the Jarvan, and then you're going to see Woe Landon taking that Gragas top against Renekton, which is a good matchup in this favor of Woe Landon.
I did not do the Jarvan. Chat can tell me that I'm trolling, but sincerely, it could be a Jarvan support, you know? It could be a thing. That chat can call me out there. I just saw the Gragas and we assumed. But Janna locked in here for University of Wisconsin, so that's a different look compared to the Engage Nautilus pick.
Yeah, Janna last game was banned around in the second round, so they're not letting that support role get to the second phase of ban. So they're going to get the Janna this time, and they have an incredible amount of disengage right now. You see Jarvan and Gragas, they're going to be looking to dash in, and now you have the Janna Tornado as well as the Talia Ruptured Earth, I think is what it's called, that they're going to get stunned if they try to dash across that.
For sure. And there it is. The AD pool is being pinched since they did not pick the carry in the first round. Xayah and Ashe off the table. I wonder if we see the Ezreal come through here. No, it's going to be the Jhin.
Jhin locked in. That's a tough pick. So this will definitely be a skill matchup for the University of Wisconsin. And with so much backline access with the Jarvan and the Gragas, we said they have a lot of disengage. So it's going to be up to University of Wisconsin to peel off this engage from Illinois State University.
Oh, do we get the signature champion in game 2? We have the
We
Bard
do.
Hover. It's locked in.
The Bard
Let's
BQ on the
go.
Bard. I am very excited for this. It's in the name. And we get the new Splash Art Syndra, which confused me earlier when that champion popped up. But yeah, a new look Syndra, no difference outside of the visuals.
Well, the abilities look different. Like the little art on the bottom look different too.
Just the visuals, yes, yeah.
But it's locked in here. I love to see it. It's going to be Basher Slice on a really strong AP carry again. Syndra able to put it out so much DPS, and it also has another execute with the ultimate. So
And that,
kind of similar champions.
yeah, and we see now the Talia being able to be flexed. So Talia's actually going to be going in the jungle role, and Ari's going to be going in the mid role. So nice use of a flex there from University of Wisconsin to get a more favorable matchup. I think that the Talia versus Syndra is definitely playable, but with the Ari, they're gonna be able to make so many plays now. With Talia coming in, if Ari can get in there and initiate, or if even Talia can get in there and initiate, they're gonna be able to lock down this Syndra. So getting the flash off of Basher Slice is gonna be key for University of Wisconsin, and they're gonna look to exploit that.
And just the mobility that Ari grants you against the J4 will bring a lot of value when you get to those mid-game team fights.
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of disengage. I do look over and I see there's I would say there's more of a lack of damage on the University of Wisconsin. It's a lot of burst, less consistent damage. So they're going to be looking to definitely disengage and try to let Illinois State University overstep a little bit too far if I'm looking at these two drafts.
Yeah, but talking about late game insurance that Illinois State had in game 1, in game 2, the Janna and the Jhin, the amount of AD that Janna will grant with the shield on a Jhin, those crits are going to hurt like a truck.
Yeah, that's definitely something to look at. This is a very interesting bot matchup. There's going to be a lot of trading back and forth with Caitlyn trying to get lane prio as well as Jhin. Very large range and 2 ranged supports. So this could be an explosive bot lane. It could also be a very neutral bot lane and they just decide to shake hands, but I would suspect that it's more of an interactive bot lane where they're trying to trade back and forth and get health advantages and convert those into Drakes, into jungle pressure, and freeing up the support as well, and maybe to roam mid.
You've played a bit of mid lane. How does a Syndra Ari matchup go?
It's pre-6, it's just pretty standard. I guess you're looking to get some chip damage in, but I would say it's probably Syndra's choice would be it'd be uninteractive. She's looking just to keep Ari at a distance. Ari's trying to get into Syndra's face, avoid that scatter the weak, and try to land a charm. So, but I would say the one-on-one matchup, there's probably not going to be a lot. I more suspect that there's going to be a lot of jungle intervention if anything happens. So I look for the jungles to use their mid lane mages to provide the damage and try to set them up to be able to kill the other mid laner.
And I think this is a great matchup here. In the bot lane, actually, you talked about how a lot of jungle interaction. Janna does not have a lot of engage. So Bard BQ is going to be free to activate the portal and actually get out of the lane, leave Caitlyn alone to farm up a bit and partner up with that J4 and make some plays. So even if we don't see some jungle interaction, we might see some support interaction across the map as Bard starts to move around with the movement speed.
Yeah, the one thing I would caveat that with is that can be considered a win. If you see Bard roaming a lot and Caitlyn just farming under tower, that kind of eliminates a lot of the champion's identity. The identity of Caitlyn is to get in the face of the other laner, try to take tower plates. Even more than just getting kills, you're just looking to get damage down on the other team so that you can oppress their tower and take their tower plates. So if Caitlyn is getting pushed in, then I would say Jin's winning that lane.
Hear me out. What if Caitlyn just does that on herself, like on her own?
I mean, we saw towards the end of the game there with Tao Sheng getting the quadra kill to close out the game. This guy knows how to layer damage, so look for that. I mean, Tao Sheng, he closed that game out for Illinois State University. A lot on the back of Basher Slice, but he was the finishing factor.
It's definitely outside of his play style. He played very safe during the laning phase on the Varus and just scaled up. So for him to step up and kind of ego a 1v2, it's kind of outside of his play style. But it was just a fun hypothetical to throw out there.
Yeah.
As we do have the lobby fully finishing out here, players getting ready to go into the game. We'll have to go to spectators delay here. So chat, let us know what's your favorite champion looking here. We have a lot of unique champions. I think across the board, there's only one repeat champion for all of these players here. So game 2 is going to look completely different, and the Falcons definitely have a chance just to flip this right around and be in it.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, this is a best-of-5 series, so plenty of League of Legends still to be played here, and there's plenty of room for University of Wisconsin to get back into this match. So we'll see if they're able to do that. With that being said, we'll catch you guys as we load onto the Rift.
All right, we are back on to the Rift. During side selection, both teams opted the same on the same side. So we got the Falcons here on red side going up against Redbirds here, taking a big lead in game one here. We'll have to see how they adjust and change it, trying to come back. Everybody rocking a unique champion here. Barbecue on the senior champion. A lot of hype here.
Yeah, I mean, last game, if you remember, it was the Falcons built an incredible early lead, especially in the top lane. It was Astral Flying taking over that early game. So I'd say stick to a lot of the same in the early game. Build that lead, and then just kind of the tweaks need to come towards the late game objectives where they were losing some of those team fights to Illinois State University. So look for them to improve on that, and that's how they're going to flip this series back around and tie it up 1-1 in a best of 5.
Yeah, they definitely doubled down in the top lane. As strong as Rumble is in the early game, Renekton is even stronger here. So if Astral Flying is able to get the same style of a lead that he did in game one, this Renekton could 1v5 the game.
Yeah, that being said, if I recall correctly, on this patch is the patch that Gragas got changed where his passive actually got reduced. So he's going to be gaining a lot of health in lane. I believe it was 2 seconds taken off of that. Now it does scale with levels, so it's 2 seconds in the late game. Early game it's going to be less, but he's going to be able to sustain this lane out much better than he was on a Jace, especially if you remember last game he started the tier, so he didn't have any sort of Omnivamp or health regeneration. This time he's got the double pots and the Doran Ring, which is going to give him mana, cast more abilities, gain more health.
Already see a bit of that auto attack trading here with the Caitlyn there in the bot lane as they get a bit aggressive, but Eerie winning out in a really big trade in the mid lane.
Once again, Astral Flying hitting level 2 and getting a significant trade to get a lead in this lane against Wolanin.
Yeah, that's the power of that Renekton there.
Yeah, it seems across the board a lot of these trades have kind of been equalized. University of Wisconsin striking first, but Illinois State responding and getting the health kind of evened out early game.
Yep, Hero Joe flash knockout followed up by the Scatter of the Week, and Eerie is going to go down at 2 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit of a skill expression there from Flash Dro using the flag and drag flash to get the knock up onto Eerie to ensure that he gets knocked up, which then you can layer the Scatter of the Week on top. So first blood going over to Illinois State is a major difference from the last game, if you remember, in the topside jungle where they dropped 2 kills to University of Wisconsin.
Yeah, that flag and drag was really pretty.
Astral Flying still getting so much work done in this top lane. With Wolanin going down on mana, he's not going to be able to heal up as much. Does have the TP, so and it doesn't look like he's in danger of being dove. He'll be able to farm up this wave. That being said, Astral Flying is going to use that advantage to get some information for his jungler on Hero Joe's top side.
Yeah, we saw Arrow Hunter early on game one get a big CS lead when it comes to jungle. Was constantly in Hero Joe's side of the jungle, stealing away camps, getting that gold lead here. So we'll have to see if the same kind of style of gameplay comes out here, as he's going to hover here in the top lane. They really want to get a kill here for Astro Flying to kind of equal out what's been happening in the mid lane. Arrow Hunter did finally stepped up, so Wolanin knows what's going on and is playing very, very safe.
Yeah, Astral Flying had the ability there. Nice flash forward from Bard BQ. He's going to take a couple tower shots. So nice fancy feet from Eerie to respond to the flash from Bard BQ. Get out of that play and withhold a 3-man gank on his lane.
And you can see in the top lane, Astro Flying is wanting to dive here, but with Bard BQ moving up, they have the man advantage here. The Bard does channel the recall, so it is just a 2v2 as Arrow Hunter is still hovering this top side here. You can tell how much they want to get this Renekton ahead.
Yeah, it just seems that I mean, obviously they're trying so hard for this dive, and here it comes.
Oh, there it is. Astro Flying takes 1, 2 tower shots and just cannot find the execute damage here. Wolanin is still alive.
just weren't able to coordinate that play. You could tell, I don't know who was calling it out between the two players, but either Arrow Hunter or Astral Flying really wanted to execute that dive, but great job from Wolanin to withstand that pressure and not die, as he's absorbed a lot of pressure. He is down 16 CS, but he's had the jungle sitting there for so long, hovering his lane, so it's been very hard for him. But he did not go down. That's the key thing.
Yeah, and it's a great improvement from game one that we're seeing from Wolanin. In game one, he greeted for tower planes, was being caught out, overextended, and getting ganked here. And here in game two, we see him playing respectfully. And that's the kind of improvement you want to make across a best of 5 here. So very excited to see him making that adaptation already.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that the momentum is in Illinois State University's side right now, so I'm looking for one of the members from University of Wisconsin to find a play to turn it back in their favor and try to create some sort of snowball in this early game for their team.
It's going to be Arrow Hunter is trying to prep this dragon here, but Bard BQ is going to spot it out here, but actually gets shoved over and now is caught, goes into the portal, but has to get out of here with a 50% health as they continue to hit this Drake. All the members are rotating over here. It's going to be a contest as there it is, the flag and drag. Hero Joe finds the knockup on 2, but didn't have any backup to help, and he's going to lose his life for that play. Frigidly flashing forward, wants to find Bard BQ, but can't find the damage for it. Eerie pops the charm. There it is. Lands it onto the AD carry, but doesn't get the followed up CC. They might not be finding more kills, but that's definitely going to be Drake going over to them.
That was an incredibly close fight there for the Falcons. They almost got 3 kills there. You saw Eerie's Q barely missing out on catching Bard BQ on the very tip to get the final kill, and he also got the charm onto Taosheng, but he was able to flash out. So that could have been, as it was already bad for Illinois State University, as they're going to lose a kill and most likely the Drake, although Hero Joe's looking.
Smite is available for both jugglers, so this could be a very early Smite fight already. Flag and drag is available, but really nice rocks scattered out. He can't dash in here. He's not going to be able to go for the steal.
Yeah, that being said, that play was really good there from University of Wisconsin. So a lot of that was set up by Arrow Hunter, making it so it was a one-way ticket for Hero Joe. He came in, but he could not get out from that Talia. Nice disengage there from Wolanin.
And right as Dominus is propped, so it is an alt for alt trade.
Even that being said, we saw Astral Flying rotate down, pick up the mid wave. Still a significant lead here, so Astral Flying in lane has been dominant this series.
I was curious, we saw that back get canceled there for Frigidly.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah, Rift Herald now is on the map, so jungler's eyes are going to turn towards that. And this is the objective that also works towards University of Wisconsin's favor, because the top side of the map is where they are super strong with Astral Flying.
Yeah, I've been impressed here from the Talia here, has been navigating the shoves so well, the rocks being placed perfectly so Hero Joe isn't able to get high value flag and drags. And then it's going to be Astral Flying stepping up here. We'll see if they overextend. It's going to be a 4v4 fight, and they flash forward. The health bar is really low as Eerie did not go down yet. Charm lands, and it's going to be the first person going down is both Arrow Hunter and Astral Flying.
Yeah, what a turn there from Hero Joe and the team. Just the target selection there was on point. They were instantly calling out members and they were dropping. That fight didn't last longer than 2 seconds, and 2 members dropped for the University of Wisconsin.
They played it front to back, and they played it slow. I was very impressed. They did not chase Eerie. They didn't overextend for the person with low health bar. They said, Ari is out of here. Let's go on to the next person, and took down the Renekton.
Yeah, Wolanin, even though he has been suffering in the lane, he has been making team fight winning plays on these top laners. That flash body slam there was able to lock down the members for even longer after they got knocked up by the flag and drag. Able to layer down that damage and knock out Arrow Hunter instantly.
We still see really heavy trading happening in the top lane. That did not slow down Astral Flying at all. But that's going to be 2 kills now for Basher Slice, who was the carry in game 1 here. As Arrow Hunter pops her first Talia ultimate, they are still going in for Wolannon. They want to get the Renekton in, and this time it will be successful.
Yeah, fantastic punish there, knowing that it was the flash from Wolannon that won the last team fight, so that means he does not have it anymore, so they knew that timer was down and took advantage of it. I was going to say that lane could have gotten really hard for Astral Flying because Wolannon did have the blue buff. He's going to be able to use somebody. We got a mid dive.
Oh, Eerie didn't have the Ahri ultimate off cooldown yet. Great punish there.
Yeah, once again, the flag and drag being used, the flag and drag flash to ensure these knockups to get Basher Slice these kills. We know this guy with the lead can absolutely carry a game. Last game, he was a menace on the Aurelion Soul.
And it really is just that CC layering. You know, you land the flag and drag, you know that you'll land the Scatter of the Week for free here.
That being said, all things considered. Oh, wait.
And Astro Flying caught underneath tower. I don't think he realized how fast Gragas would clear that wave.
Nice escape there. Never actually in any real danger, but Wolan is going to try to chase this out. He's not going to find it.
We'll have to see if Eerie goes to punish this TP, but the charm landed on a minion, and there's the ultimate Basher Slice right off the TP, grabs a solo kill.
Yeah, Basher Slice finished the Ludens and instantly puts it to use, taking down Eerie in the mid lane. It's kind of a battle of the solo laners right now. Astral Flying building a lead in the top lane, but Basher Slice has a much larger lead in the mid lane. Very interesting to watch as this series goes on.
Has to feel bad for Eerie. Wanted to punish the TP to a minion, but actually hit the charm onto a minion and just lost all of his health bar on the backside of it.
Yeah, I would say good use from Basher Slice there, but he couldn't really change where he's teleporting, so his minions just did great work for him there in that fight.
Minions!
Yeah, next Drake is on the map in 20 seconds. Looking across the board, I see a flash from Arrow Hunter and a flash from Eerie. So look for some sort of play to be made with a charm, specifically onto Basher Slice. See if they can't try to skill check him and see if they can't lock him down and instantly knock him. That's going to be how they have to win these team fights.
Yeah, something I really enjoyed from both these teams during for game 1 was they don't back down from the neutral objectives. So if one of the teams greeds for Drake and puts themselves in a disadvantaged spot, they'll punish it here. So with Drake on the table, we'll have to be really cautious here and see who gets vision established before they start it.
Yeah, just good trades coming through. Wolan and trying his best to body block the slice and dice, but
Next bot lane, Talia has the ultimate available, and Arrow Hunter has been hovering, but it's going to be Eerie that starts it up. Hard BQ just eating an Ahri charm, while Basher Slicer is going for a kill on the Talia, but can't find it. Frigidly flashing forward, trying to get the CC route, but didn't find it. Astral Flying TP'd here, so they need to get this Drake to make this play worth it, but actually is going to take a Caitlyn ultimate and is down to 25% health already here. This play is falling apart here for the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm very surprised as a nice Bard ultimate. Gonna force the flash out of Ravenhood.
Just a very clean flash away here as Basher Slicer continues to put DPS down. And Wolannon is starting to hit the tower here. So Astro Flying has to get out of here. They no longer have the 5-man advantage that they had for Dragon Objective. They now have to win through the fight.
Yeah, I was... Oh. Once again, a nice use of the ultimate from Wolannon. He's just able... He wants to win this fight.
He takes it.
Yeah, it was initially started as an escape, but I don't know if he realized that he could do that much damage. And look at that escape as well. Wolannon winning out on the top side, and then his team in turn gets to win out on the bot side.
This game 2 is looking completely different. The Falcons are playing the exact same way, pressuring the top side, trying to get Astro Flying, but Wolannon is absorbing the pressure and not giving away his life this time around, and that is activating the rest of his team to execute so well while down a man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I was kind of shocked in that last fight that Eerie was not able to lock down Basher Slice as he flashed forward to try to kill off Arrow Hunter. I thought that he could respond with a flash of his own. That would have been worthwhile to get that shutdown if he could land a charm, but elected not to.
Eerie has the ultimate, is still trying to take the 2v1. Charm has not been used yet. Looks like it's just going to be a DPS trade as Arrow Hunter in the top side of it. They, again, are continuing to try to get Astral flying, but Hero Joe is here to answer, and Arrow Hunter is at half health as Basher Slicer arrives. There's the Syndra ultimate to grab one kill. Scatter of the Weak grabs the CC as Astral flying is running away. Hero Joe is tower diving. They want to kill this Renekton, but they might not find it.
Yeah, what a great response. And you know, Basher Slice is ahead. He's obviously 5-0-1 on this Syndra. He's having a great game. He had a great game last game, but I think the MVP so far of the game is Wolan. Just a complete turnaround for him. Early levels 1 through 5 was struggling, but he's starting to hit his stride in this series. A lot of that pressure Arrow Hunter spent towards top, he just absorbed.
It's been crazy to see Basher Slice back to back right off of the TP, popping the ultimate to secure a kill.
Oh, Basher Slice is probably caught out here. He's gonna die.
Oh, the CC and Scatter of the Weak didn't find all three of the members, so it is going to be Astral flying, finding another kill. They wanted the Renekton to get gold. He's just grabbing scrapes across the rift.
Yeah, almost picked up a trade kill there on Ravenwood, but I would say that shutdown went on the best member possible for those that were around, trying to get Astral flying into an unmatchable state in the side lane.
Oh, and the Jhin ult is popped. Bard BQ is going to be the one to go down.
Yeah,
well,
nice.
Landon does tank the other two, but there's the CUC later as Seismic Shove lands. Also, there's the crit. The health bar going down so low, but Hero Joe jumps in. Ravenhood is taken down. We'll have to see if he can kite this one out as the DPS is still alive here for the Falcons. A big crit comes through as Arrow Hunter secures yet another kill in this mid lane.
Yeah, the CC for University of Wisconsin is so oppressive. Eerie has arrived. He has the ult. We'll see if they can't get anything on Wolan, and it doesn't look like it. But, man, University of Wisconsin doing a great job of layering their CC.
Oh, Bard BQ lands the ultimate, and Double Stun follows it up, but Wolan doesn't have a health bar to help him out. Goes down as soon as people come back from the untargetable.
Oh, the tower.
Bard BQ was trying so hard to turn it around. He did successfully trade away one kill.
So much action here in the mid lane between these three members. Arrowhead, Frigidly. Wow. Basher Slice gets his revenge. Massive damage. He's 2 items completed already. Yeah, but I would say that was a good play for University of Wisconsin. They got some shutdowns. Astral Flying got the Basher Slice shutdown, and then the members, like 3 kills went on to Frigidly there in that mid lane scuffle that went on for so long. You can see the potential of this team comp, the amount of CC that they have, and the way that they can shut down Illinois State University.
We'll have to see. This would be really scary. This Renekton is on an item and a half, so he is going to be a forced to Renekton as he does get onto Tai Shung here, but Hero Joe with enough CC to pull him away. The slow is activated, and it's going to be Cataclysm to keep him off the AD carry. Great peel from Hero Joe to take down Astro Flying in the side lane.
Yeah, admittedly, I was a little nervous for that play. I thought that Astral Flying might be able to take that fight over, but as he looked to go in for that kind of re-engage after the Cataclysm, great exhaust there from Tao Sheng, mitigating any sort of turn potential.
Oh, great Bard Q there.
Yeah, Bard BQ, showing why his name is Bard BQ.
Oh, well, and it doesn't find it. Erie's trying to get out in here, did show with the minions. There it is. Flash blow and still goes down.
Yeah, unfortunate that flash is going to go down, as that's a playmaking tool. So close to getting out of that, just the charm missed wide there. I do like the Leandries that Ahri elected to go for the Leandries here. Eerie on the Ahri provides more damage for these tanky members as Gragas Wolan, and I would assume that he goes Everfrost into some sort of tankier build. I'm looking at his items correctly.
Yeah, already on the cloak there, so stacking MR here for both Ari and Talia here. But we can see how effective the Renekton is against the Gragas billing MR while they drop the Rift Herald mid. So as they brawl the top lane, it's going to be the Redbirds trying to push the tempo in the mid lane here. Skylar Week might find Frigidly here, stepping up very aggressively as Eerie misses the charm, and Barbecue finds the stun, followed up by Cataclysm. Two people are dead already as Timberfake flies out. Yes, he grabs the solo kill on the top lane. The Astral Flying's team is just falling apart in the mid lane. He's going to take a tier 2 tower, but he's going to might potentially be losing his own mid lane inhibitor here. Taishang is still alive, so they have the DPS to take down the objective.
Yeah, and I like not dropping the inhib here. They don't have any threat to end, so that allows the super minions not to spawn and just soak up so many of those mid lane minions for them. So leaving that up just so that they don't give too much free farm to University of Wisconsin, they can fall back to the dragon. But just going back to that fight, like that setup by Bard BQ there, landing that stun, incredible initiation from him, and then Basher Slice following it up with the damage. But Bard BQ, man, showing up on his signature champion. It's in his name.
Yeah, it has been a statement here as some people have really stepped up to make game 2 so definitively in their favor here. A big gold advantage now for the Redbirds here.
Yeah, looking at gold, you got about a 5,000 gold lead. That's huge for them. And they have the scaling champion in the mid lane, 10-1 on the Syndra.
And that really was on the back of other people's plays. You know, we constantly saw the flag drags coming out from Hero Joe, RBQ landing consistent stuns with the Q here. So just on the back side of it, the gold is going over to Basher Slice, but it's been played from all of the players here.
Astral Flying trying to win that fight on his own. Look at that damage from Basher Slice. Double kill for Basher Slice. He's running over this game. MVP of this series so far for Illinois State University.
Deathcap finished already, so we can see these Qs literally just one-shotting people's health bars.
Yeah, at this point, he's just styling on them. Uses the flash to lock down Frigidly, showing him that if you're on the map, he's looking. That damage, especially with first strike. Like you had mentioned before, the Deathcap, amount of damage that's going to provide, and Astral Flying being the only real front line for University of Wisconsin, it's going to be really hard for them to step up into anything.
I wondered if saying he's one-shotting people was going to be an overstatement, and then he did it to a Jin.
Tao Sheng quietly farming this game. I did think this game the bot lane would be a little bit more explosive, so that was one thing that I got wrong. These two ADCs have just been kind of taking what the game has given them versus what I thought the matchup would look like, as so much attention was spent towards getting Astral Flying ahead.
Yeah, I don't know how Frigidly can manage to stand up here against Basher Slice during team fights, but with the Jin ultimate has been managing to pick up some kills here and there. So Jin is on 2 items and has been maintaining to stay in this game. It's just really scary because if you get hit by any CC, it will be the Syndra blowing you up.
Look at that gold.
Going to be another play here in the top side. They're trying to collapse onto the Renekton. Temper Fate goes wide, doesn't find anybody, so it's going to be all of the Redbirds. But double knockup followed up by Cataclysm. Wombo combo here as players are dying for the Falcons. Basher Slicer is here. Astral Flying might not have the damage to do it, is life draining it out. But there's Willanen for the front line. Eerie might find the shutdown gold. He did it, but there's the Caitlyn ultimate to potentially knock him down. Can't do it.
Oh
my goodness.
Well, Landon barely missing out on that kill. I'd have to look back to see who hit that blast cone, but that blast cone came in clutch, keeps Eerie alive. But even though Eerie was able to stay alive, the rest of his team fell in that fight. And as I was showing before that fight, if you look at that gold, you've got Syndra almost on 15,000 gold, while no one else in the game, actually, I take that back, Astral Flying just eclipsed the 10,000 mark, but he's he is 5,000 gold ahead of the strongest member from the University of Wisconsin.
Oh, beautiful charm underneath tower as Taichung is going down really low as Arrow Hunter arrives. Another pick. The Falcons are really fighting to stay in this game as they keep going. That's going to be Basher Slicer TPing in as Bard BQ goes real low. And Fridgley successfully snipes the Bard, but nobody wants to step up and fight that Syndra.
Yeah, that was a good play. I really like that play from University of Wisconsin, getting some shutdowns. Even with objectives on the map, they were not punished for committing extra members, and they actually get the TP out as well from Basher Slice.
And this time around, did it not TP right into an ultimate to secure a kill, so changes have been made.
Hero Joe's lurking here in the jungle, covering Basher Slice. They may even look for a dive, but they're calling that off.
It is for Hero Joe. Pause here as we just see a bit of the top lane tank noodle fight happening. Astro Flying kind of losing out so far, but was connected to be the drain tank. It's a little bit deceiving with that health bar getting low. Circle back to it. We do. Oh my goodness, that double stun.
Wow.
A double kill off of QEW.
Yeah, that is something to deal with.
That is absurd. I mean, we're just going to have a fight continue to break out as Bard BQ is going to arrive here to try to help his team, but they're fighting without Basher Slice here, and they can't win it out.
Yeah, story of the series so far has been if Basher Slice is not there, fight. If he is there, run.
Well, they're going to run towards him. They want to fight down the Syndra. They know that Syndra is all alone, as it's going to be Ravenblood to pop the spell shield first, but Tempered Fate lands on two, a flash away, and Q out of it is another kill, and they're going to be pushing for game. Basher Slice flash forward, trying to find Scatter of the Weak. Doesn't land on anybody, but look at that damage! It's absurd!
Yeah, sitting at 20 kills, anything that he touches right now outside of Astral Flying probably still can't even take the full combo, even though he's going a tanky build and has the Mortius plus Merc Treads. So, that being said, Illinois State University going to play it safe. They're just turning their eyes towards the Baron. They're going to end it the proper way versus just picking off kills.
I don't know if I'll ever get this out. I was saying Hero Joe is running the Gore Drinker and Spear Sojourn, so don't be deceived. Basher Slice isn't the only person with DPS here. This J4 is a threat in a 1v1. If he catches Fridgley in the Cataclysm, he could take down the AD carry also. So there's so many threats that Fridgley really can't step up during these team fights, as they're going to start one up now while Landon going down real low. Jhin ultimate is popped to try to find the pick. If they find the pick, they might be able to take the team fight as Astro Flying flashes forward. Watch how quickly that AD carry dies, and they're pushing back into it. They're losing Baron buffs now. Yeah,
they're fighting back. Anytime Basher Slice isn't here, they're able to win out on these fights. We'll see if that's enough to flip this game, as still Illinois State University is in a commanding lead of this game. They still have a few Barons as well.
University watch down. Basher Slice is rotating over here as they engage on the Bard BQ and just takes down a Renekton on the Syndra. Hero Hunter goes into the stopwatch, but it's going to be scary when he comes back. Pops the flash as soon as they get back, as Erie's TPing, might be TPing to their death. Hero Joe going forward, they want to continue this fight.
Yeah, they're looking. These two members can get so much work done. Basher Slice himself can get so much work done. If he lands one Scatter of the Week here, anyone is dead, and the fear of that is so scary for University of Wisconsin.
Oh, Erie is finally going to be caught out. There's the Scatter Week, does land, but dash away. It's going to be Hero Joe finishing off the kill instead.
Yeah, dominating performance here from Basher Slice once again. University of Wisconsin.
Oh, another Scatter Week, another double kill.
That is insane damage right now. He is standing all alone in the enemy space against the entire team. That is how confident he is feeling right now with the lead that he's been able to build.
It is at the point, but if you Scatter the Week lands on you, you're probably dying.
I would say without a Janus shield, a QE, if the Q actually lands on top of Jhin, takes him out completely.
For sure. They're going to end this game now here, of course, being led by Basher Slice. Finally, his team arrives into the base to help him out. And it's game over here. Game 2, again, Batcher Slice grabbed it, put it in his pocket, and said, "This belongs to me."
Yeah, once again, Illinois State University takes the lead off the back of their mid laner, so they are up 2-0 in this series. We'll see what the University of Wisconsin has to try to bounce back and try to shut down Basher Slice. So with that, we'll go to a quick intermission as we load up into the draft for Game 3 of this best-of-5 series.
Ready. All right, we're going to go right into draft here for Game 3. Game 1 was back and forth between the two teams as University Wisconsin came out with a big gold lead in Game 1. Game 2 is a different narrative. Illinois State just really rolled over them, Basher Slice on the Syndra, so we'll have to see what happens here. I think we do see probably a whole 5 bans throwing to the mid lane. What do you think?
Yeah, that's definitely an angle for them. Basher Slice, just force him to play something uncomfortable right now. He's been the carry for Illinois State University in this game, so put him on something else. We see the victor. This might be a Cinder ban for the third one. But just trying to find what they were able to channel in that first game. Remember, they were very far ahead in the first game, so this has not been a one-sided series this entire time. So recover the mental, try to bring back what you found in that first game and apply it to this game, and then just make those minor tweaks towards the mid and late game to close out that game, and that's how you're going to climb back in this series. You got to remember, this is best of 5. You got to take it one game at a time. So draft yourself into a position, just play comfortable, and it just has to be a mental reset for University of Wisconsin.
As we talk about what they'll do for differently, chat, you got to call out what champions you think you will see during draft. It doesn't count if you don't call your shots, so start throwing those predictions in chat now. As we see University of Wisconsin feeling like the Jin Jana was the good angle for them, locked in very quickly, so it's going to put Illinois State on the timer to decide how they're going to answer that. Um, Syndra is still available.
Yeah, but I guess they did get University of Wisconsin did get counterpicked the last time, so I would assume that they just take the Syndra here unless he wants to try to play something else because he even got counterpicked last game and still was able to carry the game. But that being said, they might have another priority pick. I do think that the Jin Janna was good last game. They went neutral in lane, so maybe some. Last game went awry when Arrow Hunter spent a lot of time top trying to get Astral Flying ahead, and they were really trying to push that top dive, and they just couldn't find it. So maybe the adaptation, because Astral Flying has been doing exceptional in the 1v1, could be a jungle change, trying to shift the focus down towards the bot lane, getting the gen ahead. And with the Bel'Veth, it could actually not even be that. He's not going to be looking to make plays. He's going to try to take the game into his hands and try to shut down Hero Joe in his jungle with this Bel'Veth. He's playing this skirmishy pick of the Bel'Veth. So I'm very excited to see how Arrow Hunter pilots this champion. And this is a champion he plays too.
Yeah, as you say, when it comes to solo queue, this is a comfort pick for Arrow Hunter. So with the series on the line going into game 3, it looks like we see a lot of comfort coming out. We do know for Fridgely that the Jin is a comfort pick also, so that seems to be the name of the game is comfort here. But without a mid lane champion pick here, you're going to be able to ban the mid pool just to even farther ensure that Basher Slice is put in an advantage.
Yeah, on the flip side, yeah, it looks like they are going to ban the mid jungle or a mid. Another way they could have looked at it is try to cover some of their blindable top points. Galio, that's going to be a hard matchup in lane, but if they can get that out of lane, and this is a Galio first game, that Eerie was able to get ahead as well. So this was one of their tools in the first game that they built the early lead on.
Throwing hypothetical out, you get a Bel'Veth 3-0, has the attack speed, has lots of DPS with the Galio damage reduction on top of it. That's going to be a big threat when we get to the mid game. But there's a lot of things you have to get correctly to get to that game state.
Yeah, and last game, Astral Flying was huge as a frontline member. We get the Bard BQ on a signature champion again, but still University of Wisconsin slightly lacking some frontline right now. I know the Galio's tanky, and I know the Bel'Veth is going to be in the face, have a lot of lifesteal, but having one of those consistent walls that they can put up front, they're lacking. So I'm going to see what Astral Flying has in this matchup. Even something like an Ornn could be something that they could go towards. I know that's not fun, especially into a Jax. Wolan Jax, this is a champion that he plays as well. So he's been on the back foot in these matchups. Instead, they're going to go the side lane. They're going to try to get Astral Flying unkillable, and I think they're going to try to play through split this game.
If there's a champion that can split push and can stand up to even a 2-0 Syndra in the side lane, it's going to be the Camille. With that passive shield, you definitely can win out in the 1v1 if you don't get behind in the early game. And the Camille into Jax, it's a skill matchup.
Yeah, very excited to see this this matchup. This has been heavily in Astral Flying. It's been in his favor all series in the laning phase. Now, of course, Wolan has been making plays in the team fights in the late game, so he's not been shut down completely. So we'll see what it goes towards. Again, I think it could be advantageous for them to shift focus a little bit and maybe play towards bot side, because I don't think that Astral Flying needs the support that he's necessarily getting. You just have to make sure that he's not being hindered too much by Hero Joe.
Yeah, and the big thing with the Camille pick is you get that ultimate isolation lockdown, and then you have a Galio fly out of the sky on top of whoever you picked. So there is a really big wombo combo potential here for the team comp, that even if the Camille, talk about going 2-0, even the Camille Syndra gets to 5-0, you still have a really big wombo combo just to squash them.
Yeah, and last game, Fridgely on the Jin was opening up with the curtain call, and he was hitting a lot of those shots, and he was executing members, doing a ton of AD damage with that buff that Jin got recently, as well as the Janus shield providing him AD. He was hitting those shots, and he was winning some of the team fights when Basher Slice was not there. Now, that being said, Basher Slice was extremely far ahead. So,
as a composition, I do think that we see um, the Falcons drafted composition that can contain the Syndra, but it came at the cost of giving over 3 comfort picks. Hero Joe on the Jarvan, Bard BQ on the Bard, Wolanin on the Jax. All the other players for the Redbirds are on comfort picks. So you almost have to ask the question, was this draft worth it, or do we give over too many power picks?
Yeah, we have a little bit of a drafting error, so the players are reloading, so that's what a little bit of the delay is.
I saw you drinking water. I need to drink my water. I'm already starting to get the bit of the stutter.
Hey, I'm loving this, man. I'm so happy to be here, honored to be here, able to cast this game between these two teams. Right now, Illinois State hasn't even dropped a game in these entire playoffs, so we'll see if this is the draft that can get University of Wisconsin back in this game. Astral flying on another very strong champion in the side lane. I know we've harped on it a lot, but I'm excited to see what these two teams have, and needless to say, these two teams have gone so far. This is the finals. These are the top two teams in the Midwest NECC. So kudos to these players for the grind of the season as well.
Yeah, and so don't let these first 2 games be deceiving. The Falcons are a team to not slack on. They also were undefeated here, so there might be some fire in their bellies. They might be, you might win the series, but we are at least taking 1 game off you, because if we're not going undefeated, you're not going undefeated. So do not slack here.
Well, that's a great way to look at it, because you honestly, like I said, you have to take it 1 game at a time, and so all they have to do is figure out how to win this game, and then they can think about the next game. It's scary looking at a 2-0 deficit, but you're not able to win 3 games in 1 game of League of Legends.
Yep, and all of the gold lead, the Syndra one-shots, that's over. You're back at both teams starting at 500 gold each. It's a neutral state, and just process. Just throw it away. Wander off a duck's back.
Yeah, and then once you extend the series, I mean, fatigue is a thing in these best of 5s. These things go on for a while. If you can get 1 game, and then you start getting momentum, and you can build on that. So just trying to refocus what they got in that first game, because if you remember, they got so far ahead in that first game and just threw it away at some objective fights towards the end game. So it is there. The recipe for success was there. Just trying to reharness that.
Yep, and then talking all that hype for the Falcons, for the Redbirds. If you win this game, you will have had an undefeated season, and that is something to brag about.
Exactly. With that being said, we're going to go into a little bit of a spectator delay as we load into the Rift. So we're going to catch you back on the Rift for Game 3 of this Best of 5 series. Can Illinois State University close this out a 3-0 in the finals, or can University of Wisconsin harness what they had in that first game and take a game back and try to start turning this series and building momentum for themselves? We'll find out after this quick break.
Alrighty, we are going to be going right back onto the Rift for Game 3. Any slash all fans that are in the chat, you know my favorite thing to talk about for the first part is this game is pay to win, and the Arcana Camille skin is so pretty. So skin advantage is going towards Astro Flying. I am just pointing this out.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Basher Slice is also using a different Cinder skin than he did the last game. I could be completely wrong, but
No, it's a different skin. Yeah, you're
okay.
right. How to get off the pay to win skin so that we can't be accused of running a pay to win skin, you know? This is all skill we're seeing.
For the first time in this series, we see a little bit of push in the early game to get that ward down. That's going to give information over to Illinois State University to make their early game plans.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, the confidence that's been gained in game 1 and 2 for them to make such an aggressive play at 1 minute.
And if you think about Belveth and the plan that she has a lot of options. She can start those Raptors, get an early level 2, and then move in and invade Hero Joe. So the idea there is they can now see if she's starting the Raptors and then where she goes from there, which Arrow Hunter is not going to do. But that was the idea behind that push.
Well, already we see the first cue of laning phase landing for Basher Slice. The Syndra is not slowing down when we get into game 2. Playing over the top lane, we already see them training a little bit heavy. Astro Flying getting a health advantage here.
Yeah, this is going to be where my eyes are focused because I think Astral Flying is the member for University of Wisconsin that they can try to lean on to get this lead. And Astral Flying is doing a great job of spacing out that Counter-Strike as well.
Oh, and the level 2 spike. This might be a solo kill here already.
Nice hold of the flash from Woe Lannon, but doesn't deter the fact that he took so much damage there, and that's 3 games in a row that Astral Flying has gotten level 2 first and punished Woe Lannon.
Yeah, and with no Counter-Strike and how big the health discrepancy is, Astral Flying might be going for a tower dive here.
Yeah, this is what they were looking for in the last game, but with this health lead, Astral Flying may just be able to pull it off himself, and he doesn't need the Talia from last game to help him as he's going for it.
There it is. One more odd attack will do it. Not overextending you, dropping back and going to punish Will Lannon if he steps up for NECS. Hero Joe is going to have to rotate over here to try to help bail this Jax out of landing phase. Look at that beautiful spacing on the auto attack. 2 attacks landing and not taking a single tower shot as there is first blood as Hero Joe comes over here. But he might lose out on this fight too. It's going to be very close as Gronk comes over to join in it. Smite steal, but still might not be enough. TP is prompt, so Astro Flying is going to finally back off.
Yeah, what a fight there. Hero Joe there was also in danger of dying, so Astral Flying once again getting a significant lead, and with that, Arrow Hunter is poking into the jungle.
Yeah, it's so much damage. Hero Joe has to pop the flash just to save his life here. Astro Flying going to pop the TP also, so right back into action here in the top lane. Woe Lannon is not going to get a break.
And pings are coming out. They're going to pull Astral Flying maybe down to look. This will at least, of course, secure. No, they're just going to go straight back to Woe Lannon.
Yeah, Woe Lannon has no flash, so when the CC lands, Arrow Hunter going forward, we're going to see the Q followed up. Flash forward for Astro Flying to secure it. That's 2 kills for this Camille already.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how University of Wisconsin uses this lead because, like I was saying in draft, this is what... Oh, I pause. A flash out from Fiddly, a 3-man tornado from Ravenwood, and once again they withstand the gank. The bot lane for University of Wisconsin so many times has been ganked in a pushing position where they're out of position, but been able to escape. They do have to use both flashes, but good job to escape there. But like I was saying, this was how University of Wisconsin was able to get that big lead in the first game, was through Astral Flying.
Oh, that stun though from Bard BQ might be enough to kill off Ravenhood. One more auto attack and I cannot speak. Being freeze from the loop.
Haha. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, didn't have the flash from the previous gank, so even though Hero Joe didn't get the kill when he ganked, he was able to set up that play by forcing out the flash from Janna, and great job from Tao Sheng and Bard BQ to punish that.
That last auto attack landing from Taichung, and that's without any sums blown. He still has the exhaust for if another fight breaks out.
Yeah, and he has a huge lead here in the bot lane. If I look at the gold with that kill now, he's 400 gold in the top lane. You already have over 1,000 gold lead from Astral Flying.
No, that is in items a Shin, complete difference.
Sheen, yeah. Yeah, Sheen completed is massive. Obviously, he's sitting on a lot of that gold advantage, so once he backs, this is going to get even more unplayable for Wolanin.
Gonna get some tower plating too, just even farther extending the lead without securing kills as Wolanin goes forward, but actually is gonna put himself dangerously low here. Last tower shot will kill it, and that's actually gonna be a shutdown for the Jax now.
Yeah, that's going to feel good for Wolanin to get the kill and the gold. However, he's missing out on even more XP. Astral Flying in the first game was able to get a 4-level lead on Wolanin, and that is looking to be a repeat in this game. Hero Joe is able to make sure that that XP doesn't go to waste. He picks it up, but the damage has already been done.
For sure, and another difference is Eerie is surviving this laning phase on the Galio, losing out on some CS here and there, but has not died to Basher Slice, which is different from game 2.
Not wasting any time.
Right into the hook shot. It's going to be the counter strike for Wolanin to stop the play in its tracks. But now both jugglers are moving up here. Hero Joe is going to be the one who shows first, but Arrow Hunter now shows on map, and we're going to see the hook shot potentially come out here. No, flag drag disengage.
Yeah, a great play there from Arrow Hunter to try to predict that Hero Joe was going to come up and try to help, and dissuade that.
And Wolanin misses on the counter strike, and look at the instant punish with the hook shot from Astral Flying.
Yeah, if he had access to the Hextech ultimatum, probably dies there. So that being said, Wolanin is not out of trouble anytime soon. He has flash coming up, but Arrow Hunter has stuck around, and he's looking again. They have this flash on timer.
Yeah, he's going to potentially walk right into that bush. There's a ward finally to spot the gank out here. Ooh, a nice little root here while Fridgley going very aggressive. Doesn't have level 6 yet, though.
Yeah, and back.
Counter strike might find one, but there's the Galley ultimate with the knockup. They want to push this Camille so far ahead. Three people on the top lane.
They are putting all of their eggs in the basket of Astral Flying. They are hoping to correct their wrongs from game 1, and we'll see how that plays out.
While Bard BQ rotated up here, flash forward, flag and drag does find one as Eerie goes down. Arrow Hunter has to use their flash, but there's Basher Slicer with the Syndra ultimate. Rift Herald's going. Oh, not going to be started up. Oh, no. I was just early. Rift Herald is started up, so it's going to finally be Illinois State making a play on the map here to stop the snowball in the top lane.
And all things considered, in the top lane, obviously, is significantly behind. The Sunder are already completed for Astral Flying, but their team is ahead in gold. They're sitting at about 600 gold. They're going to get the Herald. That includes the 200 gold that you get for taking it, and then the plates that they're going to acquire as well.
Yeah, and we do have Lost Chapter here, so Gallia has some AP, so those Qs are going to start hurting.
Yeah, that was a really good play there at the Herald for Basher Slice to pick up a kill, as Yuri was kind of able to neutralize the matchup. He was getting behind in CS, but honestly at this point in the game we've seen Basher Slice even further ahead than he is right now. So getting those kills, we obviously know this player, if he gets a lead, he can snowball the game.
We'll have to see when the fight breaks up around this Rift Herald as Fridgley lands a really nice follow-up CC here. Bard BQ trying to put DPS down, but remember that Jhin has the ultimate to pop if he wants to here. The Caitlyn being that low is in threat state here.
Yeah, they have. They're actually just going to turn this trade into a Drake, which I think is the safer option. They don't know where Hero Joe is, so they're just going to look for the Drake, and that's going to be a nice objective pickup for University of Wisconsin.
And across the map,
Wow.
Astro Flying trading heavy again.
That Q2 off of Camille right now with the finished item is going to absolutely shred Wolannon.
Yeah, there's almost an understanding here from Astro Flying, timing out the counter strikes so perfectly as we go underneath tower, and Astro Flying finds a kill underneath tower.
And if you look, that is double death almost for Wolannon. Not only does he die there, look at the minions that are going to drop to this tower. That is how Astro Flying has been building this lead in XP.
Oh, TP Wolannon really wants the shutdown gold, but
I
with
think
the
he dies
death
here. If he goes
yeah,
for this, I think he dies.
mythic difference.
Astral Flying plays it out safe. Doesn't want to give over any of that shutdown that you're talking about. Has the TP, is sitting on 1,300 gold, so not worth risking it.
Love to see this Bard being activated, able to move out across the map now. I just don't know if it's enough to stop this Camille.
Yeah, I mean, last game Bard BQ was made so many plays roaming around the map, so he could be a difference maker. That being said, that leaves a 2-on-1 down here in the bot lane.
Yep, they're looking to collapse here at 4v3 here, but the Camille might as well count as 2 people. Look at that chip damage onto Hero Joe, half health already, 3 people in his Cataclysm, followed up by the Counter-Strike, followed up by Scatter the Weak. The CC chain is here, and they turn the fight around. It's 3-0.
What an incredible play there from Illinois State University. Once again, they're using their team fight. Now that's going to be Herald dropped, and that's going to be gold injected into Basher Slice. Once again, they're playing through this mid jungle, and that has been the difference maker in this series, and they're looking to use it once again to close it out and become the Midwest NECC champions. Dominant play there, and that is huge for Illinois State University.
The level of communication that play took is incredible. Cataclysm locked them in, so it was a 3-man Counter-Strike followed by a 3-man Scatter the Weak. And as I said earlier, Pasture Slayer was contained, not anymore. 3-0-2 here on the Syndra.
Yeah, once again, he's online, just like he has been all of these games. He's playing these scaling champions. He's able to even get leads in lane, and then once the team fights start happening, he's locking down these kills, getting massive gold. He's got the Ludens completed. And now this mid jungle is so much stronger already. And shout out to Wolannon there. He's getting behind in this lane, but when it comes to the team fight, he still has Counter-Strike. And he was able to hop in there and lock down those 3 members to facilitate Basher Slice getting that massive damage down.
Yep, and that is Blade of the Ruined King finished for the Jax. So while he might not be able to stand up to the Camille, he'll be able to fight other players, as there's a nice little trade here in the bot lane. RBQ so consistent with the cosmic bindings.
Yeah, Cole completed for Tao Sheng. I believe that has popped and is sitting in his pocket. He hasn't backed and spent that yet. As well as Ridgely most likely sitting on his item as they trade down here in the bot lane.
Both junglers are in here, so we'll have to see if somebody goes for a dive as Arrow Hunter pops over the wall just to figure out that Hero Joe is here. Ridgely pops the ultimate, but can't have significant damage on anybody yet. And it's going to be both mid laners rotating over. Basher Slice has not shown on a ward yet, so they don't know where the Syndra is.
Such a scary member not to know. Here he comes.
Yep, that control ward is going to spot it and see how quickly they disengaged as soon as the Syndra showed. Oh, big fight here in the top lane, but Astro Flying still coming out ahead here. Goes underneath tower. It's going to be the tower shot to make the difference.
Wolannon wins out on a fight. That's huge. If he dies there, he loses the tower, and this is the one time all 4 members are fighting towards the bot side. That was the 1v1 Astral Flying has been looking for. As in the last one, more members were brought up. That was a huge fight there from Wolannon. Shout out to him for climbing back.
The amount of mental fortitude that you have to pop are there. Say, I think I went out on this, and as soon as Astral Flying goes under your tower. You keep hitting them despite being on 5% health. Incredible.
Yeah, looking and thinking back on that fight, that counter strike, you were talking about how well um, Astral Flying. Oh, it might be a fight here.
Oh, Tempered Fate onto the Jin. Taisheng does not get the trap down before, but Hero Joe with Cataclysm, and there it is. Kill going over to Taisheng.
Yeah, but like you're saying, Astral Flying has been spacing out these counter strikes so well. That time, Wolannon caught him barely on the edge of it before he was able to escape with the hook shot, and that was what was able to get him the kill.
Well, they're going to keep going, and now Ravenhead actually has moved up here, and I think that will be the difference. Wolannon can't stand a chance here. This tower will go down to free. Arrow Hunter on the Belveth did get the Rift Herald, so has the massive Void Queen whatever ability passive here. Great power spike here, and that might be a tier 2 tower going down, honestly. With how strong Belveth is after taking a Rift Herald, this tier 2 is going to go down.
Yeah, that was really important there for Arrow Hunter to stay alive.
Just stepped up too far, not playing extremely respectful here.
And that's a huge swing for University of Wisconsin. They pick up 2 towers there and even get a charge on the inhib tower, and they pick up a kill, and Wolannon actually had a shutdown there too. So 450 extra gold for Joe, looking to take back his jungle as he has support from Basher Slice.
Yeah, watch the Scatter of the Week come out. That can be incredibly different here as Ravenhood is here to help CC, but Taisheng with the Caitlyn ultimate finds the kill.
Astral Flying did drop there, so it's a 1-for-1 trade.
They're trying to corral them, move them out of here. It's a full retreat here for the Falcons. They know they bit off more than they can.
Gold lead sitting at about 3,000 now, so that's steadily been increasing for Illinois State University, and they have the scaling on their side. What they're looking for is Astral Flying, like we've been saying, to become unkillable here in the side lane. He has to be able to win out on the 1v1 versus Wolannon, and if that's the case, that's how University of Wisconsin wins this game.
And it's not just against Wolannon. You have to be able to stand up to that Syndra also. And if you do get on top of the Syndra, you have Fury on the Gallia to help you out. So it's going to be trying to open the map up and get in that 1-3-1. However, we'll have to see how well Bard BQ moves it around the map to make sure that that doesn't happen, forcing 3v3s or 4v4s.
Yeah, and these trades, if that counter-strike is down, Wolannon suffers.
It's almost instinctual how quickly Astral Flying engages.
Look at these members. Look at these members moving down to try to cover. He spots it out.
Yeah, Hero Joe is on the Mythic, so don't underestimate how much damage this J4 is going to do. And there it is, 300 gold going over to the Jax. Tempered Fate does find the support. Another kill is probably going to go over here. A great tornado, but Cataclysm to follow it up. And Belveth is into the backline here, putting DPS down onto Bar BBQ. They find the kill, and the TP is going to be channeled here as Frigidly is zoned away. Might go down here. Ooh, a nice stab there from the J4 to finish it off.
Yeah, hit him with the drag part of the Flag and Dragon. That was enough to finish him off. A nice turn there, a TP in as well from Basher Slice to ensure that their team wins out on that fight. And that was a play set up by Hero Joe. Bard BQ and Hero Joe moving together as a support jungle duo across this map, helping Wolannon survive that matchup.
It was Basher Slice getting fed, but remember, that was on the back of plays that Hero Joe and Bard BQ made early game, as we just see Wolannon die in the side lane again.
Yeah, again, without the backup and without the counter strike, it's going to go in the favor of Astral Flying every single time. Rinse and repeat. It's got to be the 1v1 matchup, but look at that damage already.
Yeah, and Caitlyn does not have the ultimate to finish it off, so luckily Frigidly will be able to walk this one out. The siege continues even without Frigidly here. They really can't contest. Belveth no longer has that super empower from the Rift Herald here.
And this is how the game's going to look for University of Wisconsin. It's going to be a split push game, so just mitigating the damage that Illinois State University can do to you while opening up Astral Flying by covering him with wards and support in the jungle, in the gray area, so that he can freely push. That's going to be the name of the game for the Falcons.
Yeah, so one thing to keep track of during this mid game is Tempered Fate off of cooldown, and how creative does Bard BQ get? Because in a game where you're opening up the map, to throw that out and catch players out of position is so strong. So we'll have to see how creative Bard BQ gets here.
And on the flip, Astral Flying electing to actually group with the team right now.
Going in on the 1v2 and potentially winning out on it. I know his health bar went down low, but Taistrong is so squishy. The lifesteal, though. Actually, it might be Bard BQ getting caught out here, luckily having the portal at the dip, but all 5 members for the Falcons are here while Lannon is split pushing here.
Yeah, they really, for University of Wisconsin, they really need to get this mid tower down.
Look how... Yeah, it's almost an indecision here as the fights are breaking out left and right, but nobody is jumping in on it to engage, and it's going to be Astral Flying having to pop and go down. It might go down here on the side lane against Lannon. They are falling apart here. Basher Slicer is going to step up and force Jin to cancel the ult early, so it's just a one fight across the map. They did not lose any players, and they're going to start sieging towers here, and the Inhibitor is already under pressure at 21 minutes. Taistrong is going to secure this one, and Arrow Hunter just has to back off. He doesn't have the health bar to step up. And Inhibitor going over, and Lannon grabbing the tower in the bot lane. So much gold swing here.
Yeah, and they can fall back and pick up the Drake as well. They have plenty of priority health bars and mana to do this, and they had waves there in the mid lane and the bot lane, so they picked up 3 towers there. The Inhibitor, they're going to get the objective, and now all eyes are going to be towards the Baron, and they're going to look to try to close this game out with the base exposed now in the mid lane.
They played that so patiently. They knew that they didn't have Lannon with them, so when Astral Flying engaged, they let him run away and waited for Basher Slice to arrive to the team fight and take a full 5v4.
Yeah, once again, I mean, the resiliency from Lannon in all 3 of these games has been incredible.
We'll have to see if Astral Flying overextends here as Hero Joe goes in for the Cataclysm, but Arrow Hunter is here to try to turn around. But look at the damage from the Syndra. Arrow Hunter just gets eviscerated here before Ravenhood can arrive and might be putting himself here. Flag and Drag is available. A nice knockup here to stop it from happening. Oh, yeah. The Tempered Fate, though. The play continues. The stun does not land. Flash forward. He doesn't find the knockup this time. But look at the ball that Basher Slice is dragging. Scatter Leak finds the Jin. The carry is going to go down. Bard BQ secures the kill as Supers crash in. They could potentially be looking for game here. Death timers are low. Arrow Hunter already spawning back up, so they will just rotate over and pressure Inhibitor number 2. They're playing this slow and steady.
Yeah, my apologies. They don't even need the Baron to siege the base right now. They're so far ahead in this game.
It's going down, and it's going down quickly. It's going to be Lannon actually going for the engage. Counter-Strike does land this time. Astral Flying finds hookshot onto Taistrong, but Galio wasn't there to follow it up yet. And there's the Scatter the Weak. Ultimate is popped from Basher Slice. They're falling apart. Caitlyn ultimate is channeled. Shanna goes down next. Jin is standing alone with Nexus Towers as a wave crashes in. This might be a full sweep here. It's looking like it. Nexus Tower number 1 falls. They turn. Nexus number 2 is going to fall. GG. Congratulations to Illinois State University as they played with confidence here in Game 3, closing it out so quickly before 25 minutes.
Yeah, massive game to them. So you're looking at your NECC Midwest Playoff champions. Illinois State University is going to take it in this series in a 3-0 sweep. University of Wisconsin showed areas that they could take advantage in the top lane, but it was the resilience from Lannon and the consistent massive leads that Basher Slice, as well as the setup from Hero Joe, was able to get in the mid lane. I feel like it was damage control in the bot lane for the last 2 games, but if you remember the first game game was closed out by a quadra kill from Tao Sheng. So all members, and the setup from Barbecue all series, all members able to help facilitate for their team and get this championship for Illinois State University.
It was hard fought and well earned here, especially from Wolin, and the mentality that he survived, losing lane in all 3 games and still bouncing back and Batcher Slice. Excellent gameplay every single game to have such a massive lead.
Massive. Yeah, with that being said, we're thankful for everybody that tuned in. This was such a pleasure for Brett and I to be able to cast this. Bretticus, we're the tournament organizers of Slash All, little amateur tournament that we run, and we were able to get this opportunity. So I'm very excited. Happy for the teams letting us do this and to be a part of this, and especially for Illinois State University. Shout out to them, and shout out to University of Wisconsin too. I mean, second is nothing to scoff at. Like you said, they had not lost a game up until this point. They met their match with Illinois State University, but they were first in their group and pushed all the way through the finals as well.
Everybody came out and played today, and for the whole season, both teams have been crushing it. So amazing gameplay by both teams. Thank you guys so much for playing.
Yeah, with that being said, we're going to sign off. This is Bredicus and Brendan signing off after an Illinois State University NECC Midwest Playoff Champions. Catch you guys later.
Good night, Summoners.